Hey everyone, my name is Justin and welcome to my channel where I create weekly Photoshop related how-tos and tutorial videos. And in this video I wanted to do another album art recreation. So Kanye West just shared the album cover art for his latest album and it's getting a lot of mixed reactions, and I think there's some interesting discussion going on about it. So I'm going to have some fun and show you how to recreate it in Photoshop, and then I'm going to share some of my thoughts on the discussion afterwards. So jumping into Photoshop, you want to use a 1600 square pixel canvas and set the background contents to this pale orange. You could also use any color you want that's a pastel. So go ahead and press OK, and then grab your text tool and open up the character window and set your font to something clean and blocky like Helvetica Bold. I'm going to use a size of 11 pixels, and then we can adjust the vertical and horizontal tracking afterwards. So go ahead and type out the sentence that you want to use. And also note that there's 2 spaces in between every word, just to keep it true to the original. And then you want to just adjust the tracking, so if your stuff is too close together, you want to keep it spread out. Something about 0 for this one's fine. Now I'm going to highlight the entire sentence and then copy with Command-C, and then press Enter and paste it 8 times. So once you've pasted it 8 times, you can highlight everything and adjust the vertical tracking so that things are about this far spaced apart. Instead of duplicating it over a bunch of times, what we're actually going to do is create a brush or a stamp out of this. So press Command and click and highlight your layer. And you want to make sure you wrote out your words in black, by the way, so that this works. And go to Edit, Define Brush Preset. So you can call this whatever you want, just leave it sampled brush. And now you should see this new brush that we created as the most recent brush in our current set. So at this point, I'll just deselect and delete my original layer because I now have this stamp that I'm going to use. So if you made your text too big, you can also change the brush size and make it lower. But I'm going to go ahead and now drag in my photo. So you could use an old photo to keep it true to the original, but I'll just use any photo here. And then drag it in and press Edit, Free Transform, and scale it down to the corner so it's pretty tiny. So once you have it scaled down, grab your stamp and on a new layer, just stamp in black about 3 times each. And for the 3rd time, you want to have some overlap. At this point, you can highlight all your layers, grab your move tool, and center them and transform them if you need. So that's pretty much the technique, and whatever ingredients you want to put inside of it for your own photos and words and colors you can use. So as you can see, it's actually pretty easy to recreate, but I wanted to make a couple points on the cover art in my opinion. I don't think it's exactly fair to judge how easy it is to recreate this cover art versus the effort it took to originally create it. And I do like this album color, I like the pastel colors, and I like that it's not afraid to be so different that some people think it's completely horrible. I've done freelance graphic design here and there, and I've made covers for people myself, and I'm not an artist trying to make an edgy or bold statement like some of these artists are, but I do admire the freedom that they use when creating an album, especially for such a big name album where it's so easy to get criticized on. I know personally I would never dream of submitting something like this to someone because I just know that they wouldn't accept it, that I would have that degree of freedom and that they would have that level of trust, I guess you could say. So that brings up a good point. If you're someone who's getting art done for your project, or if you're doing project for others, you both have 2 differing opinions. A lot of times what you'll get when you meet in the middle is just something average. Artist or graphic designer, a little bit more freedom to create something, even if it might be something that you think is horrible, like some people think this is. It still allows them the freedom to maybe create something different or unique, and at the end of the day, a lot of people are still talking about it, whether it's good or bad. So it's doing something rather than just being forgettable. I think also this type of artwork nowadays is purposely made to be on social media and be easily spreadable and go viral. I think it's interesting to say the least, and it brings up these points of discussion. If you want to see an album cover recreation of your own, let me know. I do have fun doing these. I've done them before. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe for weekly Photoshop tutorials and how-tos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm definitely going to get a lot of comments saying, do we really need a tutorial for this?